Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
This is where the fun begins.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Rewatch. Jared, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the tragedy of Darth Sozin the Wise?
Okay, I need to say this. When Nick DM'd me like an hour ago saying I have the perfect intro for this, I didn't think it would be that glorious. Because, dude, that was solid as hell. So every time he was a Dark Lord and the Sith, so powerful and so wise. I thought you were going to make a reference saying this episode, all this episode was messing with a wardrobe. Because it's called the Avatar, the Fire Lord, and the Wardrobe.
I could have gone down that road, but honestly,
that was
like
so much better.
So this week we are talking about the Avatar and the Fire Lord, which doesn't really advance the plot forward, but it does fill in a heck of a lot of backstory. This might be a little bit of a longer episode because there's actually quite a bit to dig in with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say,
which I loved.
Also, we have another very special voice guest this episode. Jared, if you did not recognize the voice actor, I'm kicking you off the stream right now. Well, it's not a stream, but it's recording.
Well, for one thing, Ron Perlman.
Exactly. Ron Perlman was the voice of Elder Sozin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how can you not recognize those tones?
It's Hellboy. It's Hellboy.
Oh boy, was there Hellboy?
I mean, there was a lot of fire in this
episode. That's so good.
I mean, there was a lot of fire. You don't want to get burned.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of physical fire, but emotional fire. Oh dear God.
Oh man, Nick, that's such a sick burn.
Oh my God. So that if this is what you have to look forward to with that episode, everybody, a lot of fire puns.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, this deals in the backstory of Avatar Roku, and it's told in a really, honestly fascinating way because this episode honestly solidifies the deuteragonist nature of Avatar.
Yep.
The fact that Zuko and Aang are the protagonists of this show. Like I think this is the episode that truly solidifies it, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Also, I was getting major episode 3 vibes when they're in the volcano. And I was like, I half expected someone to assume the high ground.
Oh my God, we're going to be making so many episodes 3 puns.
Yeah.
I can just tell. This is going to be a great episode. But but I'm going to tell you, Jared, there's going to be episodes, the whole entire arcs where Aang doesn't even appear. Coming up.
That's interesting. Well, as long as it's not like the entire show or season, or like as long as they don't kill him.
There's other characters, but like let's just say that Zuko goes on some field trips with people.
As long as they don't kill him in the first episode and make it about a character that another character like a certain other Netflix show did. I had to bring that up.
So we're watching Avatar. Aang takes off.
Yeah. We're having an Aang off.
So Jared has died from cringe, everybody.
Oh, I'm resurrected from cringe. Wow.
Oh
but
God.
Yeah, this episode gave me major episode 3 vibes on this. Like, wow.
So yeah, it's told through the lens of both Roku and Sozin. So Roku is telling his side of the story to Aang through the spirit realm, okay? And Sozin is telling his side of the story to Zuko through the secret, the secret archives.
Archives! The Forbidden Archives. It is. Wait. Perhaps the archives are incomplete. If it's not in our records, it does not exist.
Oh my God, there's so many Star Wars vibes.
But this episode definitely plays off that whole, and a couple of other episodes in this season have dealt with this, where history is told slightly different depending on who's telling it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, okay, that's really cool. I like how it deals with that theme.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this does a really good job of humanizing Sozin to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his motivation for doing what he does is the classic every villain is the hero of their own story. Okay? And he's doing evil, and you can make the argument that he is himself evil, but not like the cartoony evil. It's the evil that you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll kind of get more into that as we kind of go along. But like, Jared, what did you think of like the fact that it's revealed that like Roku and Sozin were you were like okay I have to do this. I have to do this.
Yes, please.
You were my brother, Roku. I loved you.
It makes the whole thing more tragic and all that, and you see the obvious Anakin analogy falling to the dark side. That fall involves a volcano.
Oh my god!
Someone watched episode 3 recently.
Okay, I already got the thumbnail. Is the you are the chosen one. You are my brother, Roku.
There you go.
Wait, no. You are the Avatar, Roku. You are my brother. You know, I'm literally going to do that scene.
You could title the episode Avatar Revenge of the Fire Lord.
Oh my god, I love you. But it's going to be that scene. I'm just going to put like
100%. But you guys are getting
be like, you are the chosen. You are the Avatar, Roku.
By the way, you guys are getting a behind the scenes like window into how we come up with the titles and thumbnails. But screw it, it's content. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that because this episode is also really given the origin story, if you will, for the entire war that we've been dealing with for like 3 seasons. And the thing about it is when you find out how like tragic it is, it's like, yeah, well, obviously, again, with war, everyone has their own version of what happens, and it deals with that sort of like what's called in the military is like fog of war. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah. And so what we see with the Roku stuff is, yeah, they were childhood friends, but it's revealed on his 16th birthday, and then he gets like his Avatar training. Sure. And so this is kind of more of like how an Avatar is usually trained. What did you think about while you're watching that whole kind of sequence?
Usually trained as opposed to how Aang was trained?
Yeah, like how Aang's kind of like in a mad dash to learn. It's kind of like just finding stuff, whereas like very organized. He goes to each nation, respected, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's again, it definitely like conjures the image of this is in a way a different world than the one that Aang's in, because he could because the other guy, because Aang's predecessor, he could take his time and like learn how to do this. Aang's in the middle of a war. Yeah, Aang is in the middle of a war. He can't take 12 years to learn all this.
So here's the thing you gotta understand. It took Roku 12 years to master all 4 elements. Aang is doing it in less than a year. Just kind of think about that for a moment.
It kind of gives you like how much of a badass Aang is.
Yeah, for real. And then how did you feel when it was revealed that like Roku was friends with Gyatso?
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, who's that guy? And I was like, oh, okay, that was funny. I like that. And I was like, it's a good callback to a character from a previous season.
It kind of actually sheds a lot of light of why Gyatso had such a soft spot for Aang, like why he like cared for Aang so much, because he's a reincarnation of his best friend,
Yeah, and again, it's really cool how this episode links everything together so well, and really has very few like plot holes. Like it doesn't explain this or this or this. No, it is solid. It perfectly links together.
It's like, yeah, and it's just like, and you start to see, obviously, at the wedding where Roku gets a girl, like, I mean, seriously, the Chad. Oh my god. And that's when Sozin unveils his plans, and Sozin's like, "Oh no, that's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank." Like that's the.
He's like, anyway. Screw it. I'm gonna go do my plan anyway. And I'm like, okay. I just love that image of the Avatar flying into like that Earth realm, and then you see like
On
the
a
big
dragon.
on a dragon. Well, first off, that's a fantastic image right there, and then you see it's his Appa, and you see like a giant like
Literally,
Fire
it is.
Nation.
Literally,
Yeah,
is.
it is. You see a giant Fire Nation flag right there, and I'm like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and and then that kind of leads us to probably one of the most important elements in this like lead up to the war is the confrontation between Roku and Sozin.
Which
Obviously
was a
they're
dope
older.
fight scene, by the way. I'm just gonna tell you that.
I
right
mean,
there.
Roku pretty much curb stomped him.
Yeah, it was dope, and I'm like, because here's the thing: I like seeing smug people like beaten, and
yeah,
so I'll take that no matter what. So I'm fine with that.
yeah, and I love like he didn't do anything else for 20 years. Like that just showed that like Sozin knew, and then we get to probably the really important scene, the volcano. Dude's fighting a volcano single-handedly. He's old. Like that dude is like really freaking old at this point.
Now the question is, I had something that went through my head when I saw this scene. I want to get your thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
So, could the Fire Lord have like manipulated the volcano?
I mean, maybe. I don't really have any evidence to say it was. If we're going off of the like the way he describes it, it looks like he's just watching it. Because like part of this is just like I like what I want to believe, but like how I feel is so he comes to the island to assist. I feel like he genuinely does want to assist him, because like I do buy like they're close friends. They were he was his brother. Sorry. It's just like,
I'm sorry, dude. This entire episode, I was like, "That's episode 3. That's Anakin and Obi-Wan in this scene. That's Anakin." It's basically Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, except it's just so good. So they're fighting the volcano because like these poisonous gas, but then comes the moment. Without you, all my plans are suddenly possible. Like Ron Perlman delivers that line in like the most Ron Perlman way, and God bless him.
He was like Hellboy and Hannibal Chow all rolled into one.
Like he brought his A game with this role. Like he like Ron Perlman did not phone this in. He did not phone this role in.
No.
Like when he said, "Need a help, old man?" Like I could just hear it in his voice. Like, yeah, they were friends again for a moment. But at the end of the day, Sozin is still Sozin. He's opportunistic. He wants what he wants, and like, yeah, he left him to die because he saw an opportunity and he took it. And it's really sad. And the saddest moment to me is as Roku is dying, his dragon comes and dies with him. His dragon comes, curls around him, and someone could say like, why didn't Fang take him? But like, Roku would have had to climb onto the dragon. He was too weak to do so.
Well, the dragon could like scooped him up in his mouth and just flown away.
Too dangerous.
Yeah, that's true.
The dragon could have gotten away, but like at that point,
well, here's the thing.
The point is, they wanted to make it a deep moment where the dragon, like, maybe or it could have been the dragon wanted to die with him.
Yeah, what you notice that this is it parallels what happens to Aang when he's frozen and Appa's kind of around him.
Yeah, and
I loved when you get a thing where he's like, I spent the rest of my life searching for the reincarnated avatar, and then you just his ship is going over the ice, and in my head I was like, oh wait, are they about to do it? And then he just pans down and there's Aang and Appa frozen in ice.
Yeah, because like the beginning of this, like, oh, Roku Sozin died peacefully of old age. Like, wait, that's it? Like that's how he ended? And so it kind of shows like Sozin won, but he also lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he wiped out the air nomads. He got rid of Roku. He got what he wanted, but the Avatar escaped. The Avatar eluded him, and he died failing to get the Avatar.
It's
Zuko
kind of like,
did what Sozin could not.
it's kind of like he died because he let his obsession of finding the Avatar consume him.
So you're saying he could save others from death, but not himself.
Yes, this is the
Sorry, you set me up for that. You set
and
me
what's
up.
interesting, and going back to the theme of this episode, this definitely parallels Zuko going through, because remember, his whole thing was finding the Avatar. He did, but the point is, it's like this is kind of showing him, okay, if you don't let your single track focus distract you from the larger picture.
I mean, you want to talk about parallels? Let's talk about that revelation at the end. So
yeah,
right.
yeah, I did not see this coming.
He knows what I'm about to do. He knows exactly.
I know. It works. Go ahead.
So, Jared.
You didn't see that coming?
I'll take it. All right. I'll take it.
I'm having so much fun, guys. I'm sorry. This is like the most fun I've had recording an episode in a while. God bless you, Jared.
Yeah,
but anyway, so Zuko, Zuko goes to visit Iroh, and Iroh's actually talking to him. Like before, Iroh kind of just like, now he's actually talking to him. And what I really like is this really builds upon the whole storyline of Zuko having his conflict. Like, I want to quote, there's a George R.R. Martin quote that I
when that reveal happened at the end of the episode, I was like, oh wow, well done, Avatar writers. Well freaking done.
So George R.R. Martin once wrote, the greatest stories, whether they are giants, elves, or dwarves, or whatever they are about humans and the human heart in conflict with itself. Actually, I need to redo that. But like,
it's an excellent.
But anyway, but like, the only thing worth writing about is the human heart in conflict with himself, and that's what we have here. Is Zuko is a poster child for this type of story. Is his own heart is in conflict with himself, and we learn just how much in conflict with he was. When we talk about Zuko has both of Zuko's grandfathers are important. So he's all been focused on his grandfather Sozin, Fire Lord Sozin, but he has another grandfather. His other grandfather is Avatar Roku.
I was like, yeah, that was like one of those moments. I was like, what the heck? That's cool.
So basically, Zuko is the grandfather of Avatar Roku through his mother's side. And so like this just the parallels, which, by the way, does that make Aang like Zuko's uncle, like, or whatever? Like, there's some relation stuff going here.
I have expected Zuko to pull an Anakin and go, liar.
Oh dear God!
Wait. So if he finally tells them, essentially, Aang could go, yeah, I am your uncle.
No. Zuko would have been like this.
So many Star Wars puns in this episode. Jeez. It's like we found out that liar. There you go. Oh my gosh. Search your feelings, it's to be true.
People watching this episode, they'll be like,
what have you done?
okay, I'm gonna lay off them for at least the time being. But like, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go out here and say this. This is a 10 out of 10 episode.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It is 100% a 10 out of 10. Just even though it really was, when you think about it, light on the action scenes, the story and the way they build and build and build and then expand on the lore, I'm like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah. So I really
the amount of Star Wars puns we can apply to this makes this episode that much more entertaining.
Yeah.
I just love that delivery. Yeah.
like, especially like if you have the context for the whole scene, it's just yeah.
Of course.
All right. So, Jared, any final thoughts you got for this episode?
It was pretty dope, and
You're pretty dope.
why, thank you. And it's a very, very I like lore building episodes, and this one like really killed it. By the way, so this is episode, it says here 46/61. If this was episode 66, then oh my gosh, that would have been even more. It's not, but still.
Wait, real quick though. So when Zuko came to talk to him about the archives, Iroh was like,
I have you now.
I'm just busting out all my Star Wars clips.
This episode is basically, this episode is the prequels.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're gonna continue going on with this. Next episode is The Runaway. You'll see that on next week. Jared, thank you. And remember, the Force is strong with this one.